New Eden FM, presented by the Data Break Network. This is New Eden, an anomaly even within the Data Break.
Greetings all and happy Sunday and happy house day. Thanks, Amy. This is New Eden FM, your weekly update on all things even. Of course, we keep you in the mix with some of the most awesome tunes in music, both new and old. This is Maestra in the studio. Of course, Amy behind the decks bringing you the beats. And also in the studio, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth lady of the galaxy, Miss Alondria. How are you on today?
I'm doing good. All of me seems to be functioning within established parameters.
All right, well that's pretty good because I think that it was last week you were saying that one of them was waiting with bated breath for Latara to appear on the show, and when they didn't show up, I was wondering if there might be a chain reaction of events because that one probably passed out on the floor and needed to be resuscitated. But it's good to see that you're okay this week.
That one actually dissolved
Oof.
into nothing within established parameters now because that one's gone.
Well, I mean that is one way fix to fix the system problem rather than trying to fix the hub. You just put a new one in. So congratulations to you on that one.
It's the Borg way. A drone goes defective, you take the parts off, and it just dissolves. It's just what they do.
Jeez, man. Wow. It's like no metabolic acid or anything. It's just gone, right? Wow. Okay.
Nope.
Well,
Gone.
well. The war is heating up around New Eden and wow. Jeez, man, the things I learn on this show.
I know, right?
Jeez. War is heating up around New Eden and the devs have once again introduced another chance if you missed the Clear Sky Nanocore really wanted and achieved. My good friend is unleashing his inner TCG master. We have all that for you on today's show right now.
This is your weekly update on all things Eve Echoes and Eve Online. New Eden News.
Welcome everyone to New Eden News, and you know the nice thing about the devs not really having a whole lot of content to share with us is that it makes this segment pretty short. It also makes it so that we don't have anything to complain about. I mean, the last Q&A that we had on the show was, what, 3 weeks ago, Alondria? And it was actually pretty good. And it's like they left it at that. And so they've been extremely silent. Last week's patch wasn't really anything too huge or significant. We went over that. Of course, we were pretty happy to have a very chill week when it came to new content being added into the game or new things to be talked about. And I mean, I think that is kind of good because they had this really great Q&A that was 3 weeks ago, and they've spent more time working with that than actually trying to hurry up and rush stuff out the oven, which is what it feels like, or what it's felt like traditionally when they've done stuff with the game in the previous years.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, they did really good on this event, though. This carrier event?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't really taken part in it, but then again, I haven't logged in a whole lot the past week. So, I mean, what's been your experience with it?
Well, I mean, the whole thing is, the ship rental thing, and you have to get the splendid coupons, so you can get a decent amount of them free. But it's the Voyager cores. Those Voyager cores are really exceptional for PvP.
Yeah, well, I mean, that explains why Latara is missing so many episodes these days. They probably got one of those. But I mean, I think that the new sleeper event, or the new sleeper site, gave a lot of people a lot more to kind of chew on and to grind on a weekly basis, as if there wasn't enough things to grind. But I think that the opportunity to earn more points in a given week is pretty good for people that are trying to really grind out those implants, especially if you got one of the newer ones for mining or missiles. Or if you took advantage of the fact that I think that the older ones were actually on sale. You could buy a box and pull whichever one you wanted out for around $5 about 2 weeks ago. So if you need to grind those cores up, this is a good time to be doing that. As far as it's questionable how many people are really grinding the dormants right now, but at the same time, it's one of the easier ways and more guaranteed ways to make money during a time of war, which right now everyone is in the middle of. Half the carrier kills on our fleet report is from people trying to do special special anomalies and stuff during a time of war, which, by the way, guys, don't effing do it. Really. I've seen so many allied carriers coming back in pieces, or not coming back at all, because you just gotta have that special site. Trust me, it's not worth it.
Definitely, yeah. Don't be that guy. And when I say don't be that guy that has to explain to everybody why they just lost their shiny ship.
Well, yeah. I don't think anyone's as bad as the guy that Kilroy had in his corporation back when we were all still Pantheon. Some of you might remember that during the days when we had to work on, we were trying to take out the Starcat Citadels, because of course they were moving out. They were going over to they were going over to SHH at the time, and so the Citadel timers were set around maintenance, and it wasn't very well optimized, because they were able to just go in and pretty much, well, let's put it this way, they were able to kind of game the system, and it allowed them to well, come back on, and the Citadel was basically fully repaired, or it was entering into a state where you really couldn't take it down. So one night, I think that the night that we finally killed those Citadels, one of the guys from Kilroy's corporation decided that he was going to undock a freighter full of stuff and try to move it through, guess what, folks? K4, right after maintenance.
Yeah, I guess he thought right after maintenance.
I think Riku
I
was
think
there.
I think right after maintenance he was thinking that he was going to slip through, but yeah, it didn't work out so well.
Oh my gosh, no, caught him off that gate cap so fast. Like, I mean, it was insane. And then he blamed us like it was our fault. We were in the middle of a CTA. it was pretty insane. But like, I don't think that I've seen a capital ship loss that was worse than that one, except for maybe the one where Maddie's buttons didn't fire off when he jumped into that SHH blob and got popped. But it's one of those situations where, guys, come on, and we can cover it during State of the War. You already know that there are plenty of hunters out there. SHH has some pilots that are exceptionally good when it comes to hunting carriers. For example, Heck and Deck. I think that everyone knows knows that guy at this point. He's exceptionally good at hunting carriers by himself, and he's very patient, and he will set a log off trap. He will wait for you, and so it's kind of rough. I know that you want the content. I know you want the versatile attack ships, but believe me when I tell you, it is not worth the pain and suffering of having to rebuild the carrier you probably was going to use to actually get the versatile attack ship. And shout out to Junie in The Sound of Us, who she said that I've done so many cap specials in Declan. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's gonna pull that one off, it's definitely gonna be Junipero. I can promise that.
Hmm.
As a whole, because when it comes down to it, you know, I feel that we need like quality content. It's not about the frequency of the content updates. It's about quality. And at first they were trying to like push out some new content once every 2 weeks. That's the statement that they gave us. But the truth of the matter is, while that works for most mobile games because they need something to keep people engaged, Eve is more of a long-term game. Whether you're talking about Eve Online or you are talking about Eve Echoes, both games are relatively long term games. These are not games that you're just going to pick up and within like a week, 2 weeks, or whatever, you're just going to be like at that level. Whether it is going to be something, you know, something in terms of your skill level, or whether it is you having to sit there and grind out a little bit of is to get your favorite chip, you're not, it's like, Eve is just not the game for people that are trying to, hurry up and get instant gratification. So for those of you guys
Yeah.
that are playing for instant gratification, this is probably not the game for you. So but
Definitely.
I digress. I do believe that we are just coming off of the Chinese event for EVE Online, which was actually really, really, really awesome. For those of you guys that were playing, they offered a bunch of different little discounts and geez, Ames. They offered a bunch of little discounts, and I mean the ship skins that they released were actually really, really cool. I don't know. I thought that it was I thought that it was really nice. I just didn't have the money to sit there and to buy all those skins, but they were great skins, man. And I feel like I had to mention that coming off of those ugly Ascension cores to make myself feel better. So if you were wondering
Yeah.
what I was doing, that is pretty much what I was doing. But but in just a moment, we are going to come back for the content creators corner. But the week before that, I did the drum and bass mix because she wasn't available to do that for us. But the week that was the week before last. Last week when we had the battle royal, she held it down with some awesome dubstep for us. And I saw that there was a request by Lehman for dubstep. And yeah, my brother, you totally missed the episode from last week where we did in fact cover dub. It was pretty awesome. I mean, there's nothing like having a battle royal and you have a dubstep playing in the background. Personally, I thought it was nice ambience. What do you think, Alondria?
I think so. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're like making our way slowly around the EDM tree right now, but today was House, brought to you by Amy. So shout out to her, sending a lot of love. And we are going to do the Content Creators Corner. Figured it'd be a nice way to flow right into that. Seeing as how, DJs actually are content creators, aren't they? I mean, content creators of a different nature, but they're content creators. I don't know.
Indeed.
But anyway, sending love to all of the content creators that are out there that are putting out great work. First and foremost, my good friend and longtime associate Damon Zell. Last time I heard from him, he was a little bit under the weather. I understand that he and his family were just like dealing with a nasty little virus that was going around, and he's been taking some time away to take care of his kids. So sending him love and well wishes so that he can get back to doing the thing that he loves doing and the thing that we kind of depend on, the weekly community news update. So thanks to him. Of course, Rambo's podcast has a brand new time, and that would be on Sundays. You can catch that around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That means for you East Coast people, it's going to be around 5 p.m. Your time. And be sure to check that out. I believe that on today they are going to be doing the Who Wants to Be a Billionaire again, which did happen on last week. And even if you're not playing the game, I can assure you should tune in because it can be lots. It can be fun as hell just to when the weird things start to happen on the show and you realize that this isn't actually scripted. Like, these people actually come in and there's so much weirdness going on, and we're all like, does this guy even know where he is? And one week, one guy actually didn't know where he was because that was the first question. But I believe that there is going to be another of those on tonight. Rambo can correct me if I am wrong. He is in the lounge today, so big shout out to him for that, and of course, sending love to Taylor Rick, who is a co-host over there. Both of them are over there rocking shades over on there on the podcast, which I think is pretty damn interesting. Without talking about my good friend and long-term buddy in content creation, Achieved, who is continuing to hit the gas pedal when it comes to various different video games. And when I talk about the gas pedal on different video games, I mean, Sheev doesn't stick to just Eve Echoes. He also does play other games, and I believe that it's whenever he does like different little things on his channel, it's not always Eve Echo centric. So if you're one of those people that kind of would like to look for a new game, something you can play on the side, you know, you're not really trying to quit Eve, but you would like a little something you can do in addition to Eve, check out Ashif's page, where he has a myriad of different games that he's gone through. In the past year, I've seen him do stuff on Diablo. I think that his Diablo Immortals, had to make sure to put that subtitle on there. I believe his latest video was actually on the Dead Space remake. So for those of you that are a fan of that series, check that out. And Laundry, I think that Achieved is. I mean, he's not slowing down with his Eve content. He's doing something else, unleashing his inner trading card game master mentality for us.
Indeed, he's actually producing some very cool looking cards. I've actually dropped some samples of those that he's provided into the Sound of Us, along with the link to his Discord, where you can actually score a free card as well. But this is a really cool thing that he is actually doing. If you look at these cards, they're very, very high quality. And it is something that he is actually producing for people. You can find details on getting your own card made by him for a being a collectible card on his Discord. But there's going to be all kinds of information on these cards that we're going to see about getting him on here next Sunday to really go in depth and really tell us about this wonderful project he's doing. But if you can't wait for that, you can go on over to his Discord, where the link is in the Sound of Us, and you can take a look at these cards that he's producing that are really a very cool thing.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at this Vindicator card, which I think is really awesome. And the nice thing about it is these cards are actual screenshots of the in-game represented item. I think that's pretty dope, right? It's like it you have to be. And I'm trying to figure out, like, so are we collecting the cards, or is this meant to be an actual tabletop game? Because that would be absolutely insane. And I feel bad for Sheath having to sit there and figure out how you're going to run game balance.
I know, right?
My
But I
God.
think they're mostly for collectibles. But it looks like a Tofo Nofo in the Sound of Us actually has already gotten a card from Sheev made for him, and you can kind of take a look and see what happens whenever you get one from him. That's just really pretty sweet.
That is really sweet. I'm actually laughing at the subtitle on it. Have a heart. Hey, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool. But I mean, but I think that those that can kind of channel their time and their efforts into doing really cool things like that, this is what the game really needs, right? Because there is a lot of I think that there's a lot of content in Eve Echoes like baked into the game, but it's questionable whether the content that is baked into the game is really accessible to everyone. But when content creators do things like this, it's more like, okay, so it's accessible to everyone. It's not just like, it isn't just it isn't just for like, the players that have been there since launch, or it isn't just there for the players who will invest in in XP packs and so on and so forth, or SP packs I should say, and and try to like speed their way into being able to do a lot of this stuff. And I think that's really great. Content creators need to have like little things going on outside the game. It keeps people engaged. Because if you're not doing that, then you're probably bleeding players, and that's not good. So
That's very true.
Nintendo is a way to the Monopoly man holding up 2 big ass bags of money. I would think it would be fucking awesome, you know what I mean? Just have him up there, like with the, with the little pop-out design, and he's just like holding this massive, these massive bags of money, and like underneath, it's pretty much just, it just says, play this card and you win instantly. It would be kind of like, it would be like Exodia from Yu-Gi-Oh! Only you don't have to pull all 5 parts.
Well, no. Ron Solo.
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh yeah, that you play that card,
Oh,
boom,
no.
whatever you play it against dies.
Damn.
I mean, yeah.
Damn. That's scary,
Yeah.
actually.
I know, right? I mean, you look at that guy's numbers. My gosh, he kills more than whole corpse. He kills whole corpse.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you think about it, and nothing against the rest of Orc, because I know that some of them are gonna like throw daggers at me for saying this, but Ron Solo makes up the bulk majority of their monthly kill value.
He really does.
Yeah, everyone else is just working together to get those kills. But then again, I can't really complain, right? Because Junie makes up a healthy majority of our kills. Junie, Latara, and Tama make up our kills in the crime syndicate. So I can't even be mad at him. It's like he's just a really talented guy, and he's really good at what he does. And checking out Rambo just posted a really nice photo of his avatar there that it's already made into holofoil. That's awesome. So those of you that are wondering what we're talking about right now, you're missing out because you're not checking out the sound of us. If you look at, or if you listen to the recording of the show a little bit later on, you will be able to review the sound of us and see what we were talking about, because that is just really, really, really awesome.
This is your Eve Echo's State of the War report.
Try to hold back the tears that I'm shedding right now. We are both laughing our asses off in the studio right now.
I know.
Yeah, the sound of us is popping today. Jeez.
It's absolutely lit.
Yeah. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in on today and just making things a little bit lively around here. The episodes are of course recorded, and they're posted on SoundCloud really quickly. And the people over on the Reddit portion, I think Eve Echoes, we always post a hyperlink over there, and they give it really good support and a lot of really cool feedback. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in for the live show, because you can go back and you can always listen to it, but there's nothing quite like having these moments on this show that just makes things, jeez, man. Yeah, Junie, I think that we needed one of them. All right.
Yeah. If you're not watching the, participating while it's live and looking at the sound of us, you're missing a little piece of the show that just kind of enhances the experience.
Dude, I'm telling you that one GIF is going to kill me. That one GIF with the woman and the watermelon, that is going to kill me. I'm telling you.
I know. They're deadly. It's almost painful to look at, though. I mean, that had to hurt. Oh, it had to hurt.
I mean, like, so I don't have implants, but I would imagine, like, because I know that yeah, I personally don't like being poked in the boobs, because it doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? Especially if you get poked in the wrong spot it's not a good feeling.
No, it's not. It's
not a good feeling. So could you imagine just like taking and just like, even if you had implants, just smashing on?
Oh gosh, that makes my boobs hurt just thinking about it. I don't know.
My gosh. I mean, sound of us has gone sexual today. I want to thank you guys
It
for
nearly
I want to thank you guys for that one. It's always great to get into a good laugh. But yeah, this is the state of the war, not the state of the boob job, or the state of sexual chocolate, as Junie would have it. I promise. So, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Junie. It effing hurts. It effing hurts. I mean, no, Sheaf. There's a difference between a guy, just like kind of, grabbing them during, fun time, and someone just poking you in specific spots that it is not a comfortable experience. It hurts. It hurts. We actually have stuff in there that don't agree well with poking. But for some reason, we are okay with people gropping. It's weird. Like, it doesn't make sense. Poking is bad, gropping is okay, though. Okay, you know what? So, as I digress, the state of the war. So, right now, as it stands, we are up to, looking across the board, my goodness, almost 30,000 kills. 30,000 kills. Okay? And 30,000 kills, what this adds up to is 15.3 billion for the Demolition Coalition and their allies, and 12.1 billion for the Crab Company. Of course, make no mistake about it, the Demo Coalition is making sure that we do not forget exactly where we are. And holy cow, I swear, I don't know how I'm going to get through this with the sound of us still rolling. but Demolition Coalition has 50 carrier kills, 14 dreadnought kills, most of them from people that were being silly and playing undocked games in VFK, a force auxiliary, and 6 freighters. I won't even ask. Meanwhile, they've also destroyed 188 capsular outposts, 6 Corporation Citadels Tier 1, and 3 Corporation Citadels to Tier 2 have been captured by the Demo Coalition. On the flip side of things, the the Crab Company has killed 15 carriers, 21 dreadnoughts, 2 freighters, 1 jump freighter, a total of 498 capsular outposts have met their end in the north, as well as 37 Corporation Citadels Tech Level 1, which have been destroyed, 44 Tech 2 Citadels were captured, and 17 Tech 3s. Oh, we've hit 500 at this point, Rambo? Because I don't know, maybe my feed hasn't updated. By the way, these updates are brought to you by Echoes, Echoes Moby, which is, again, kept and presented to us by our very own Mario Penterman, who, by the way, guys, is a neutral entity in New Eden. So if you're shooting them, stop shooting them. I heard they were getting targeted earlier today, and that's, they're not really part of the war. Just saying.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm a journalist. I try to call these stats right down the middle. And while I didn't take part in many of the operations on last week, there's been a lot of stuff going on. I mean, just yesterday, there was an operation, if I'm not mistaken, to protect something in burst space. It was probably either Burr or Renters, one or the other. I know that SHH wanted to come down on our Renters, which, it's fine. It's all fair in love and war. And, it's a valid strategy. So there was a defensive fleet up a couple days ago in burst space. So as far as things going on in the north, there is, it's gradually becoming less and less and less dense over there, is what I can say. But at the same time, keep in mind that there are structures being blown up across all of New Eden. And like I said, there are 50 carrier kills. I mean, yes, the carriers are the king of PvP. And that's the reason why there are 50 carrier kills in the Demo Coalition's corner. Again, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Be sensible.
Yeah, I was even sad to see How's the Invasion going. The famous Black Legion Citadel got popped yesterday.
Wow. It finally died?
Yeah.
Wow.
It finally died.
Dude, you
So
know how long they've
I
been
guess
trying to kill that citadel? Like, I think that
I
Pantheon tried to
know.
kill that citadel back when we were warring against No and Silent. That was like a year and a half ago. Like,
Yes.
that citadel has been there and on everyone's shit list for like a year and a half. That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Strangely enough, yes, please continue is the one that got the kill mail on it.
Oh my gosh. So I mean, they did, of course, because I know it's no, they definitely downgraded that citadel before it came under siege.
Yeah, because it popped, so it had to been downgraded to a level 1.
Yeah, and Junie made the statement that destruction has 3 different FCs running 3 different fleets simultaneously. Yeah, that happens. That's a common sight over there. Usually, if a come on at any point in the day, there is going to be at least 2 fleets running. And I mean, it just goes to show the dedication that these guys have. It was said by members of silent leadership that they would fizzle out and they would get tired and they would not want to continue the war after about a month. And of course, let's be completely honest and let's be completely real. It takes more than that to topple an organization like Silent. And so I think that, to some of the people that are in leadership, it might be a little bit of a surprise that that the Crab Coalition members have stuck in it and put in as much as they have. Are there less people going out there every single day? Yes, there are. There's a principle behind it. You really don't need as many people when you're continuing to keep up pressure and take objectives as you did when you first started. And I mean, on the flip side of things with the Demo Coalition, they'll probably find out that it's the same thing that works in their favor. The longer the war goes on, the less people there will probably need to show up. But Silent is supposed to be a more military-minded organization, so I would imagine that people are going to show up anyway. So
Yeah.
so I got an opportunity to be on Rambo's show along with Taylor on last week, and we had a pretty nice conversation about like the ebb and flow of the war. Both groups have a lot of stuff going on with them right now. Both groups have a lot riding on this, and it's kind of a must-win situation on both sides, right? Silent looks at it and says, "Well, we've got to survive so that once all this is over, we're coming for you." The thing is, everyone else knows that if Silent survives, they're coming for us as soon as this is over. So it's kind of like this thing where everyone is just fighting for their lives, and it's like, damn, this is the stuff that war is made of. You know what I mean? This is like, this is real. This is real war. This isn't, they're planning on, like, any side is just planning on, well, we're gonna just like fight this war, and if it doesn't go bad, or if it goes badly, if it doesn't go in our way, we're just gonna, we're just gonna carry out our way of life, and we just don't worry about stuff. No, it's kind of more like everyone is fighting for their lives out there, and it's great. They're fighting for their digital way of lives, and I think that, to be honest, even though it is debatable, how the whole thing came to be and everything, I think that the server kind of needed it. It needed that huge shakeup that just put everybody at war and gave them real stakes. Because when you think about it, there were real stakes when, Pantheon was having the problems that it had. But the stakes did not involve quite so many people. There were plenty of stakes when GenFed was where they were, but I don't think that the stakes were affecting as many people. But now that there is a level of stuff at stake for Silent, you know what I mean? For TSC, for Burr, for Boop and Beer and everyone else there, they all know that there are ramifications if they lose this war. And so it's like everybody's just like fighting for everything that they know and everything that they want to protect. And I think that it's great. It just makes for a better story.
It does. It does. It's the drama, the space soap opera everybody is a part of, so to speak.
Yep. I mean, I've been a little bit less lessened in the space soap opera, mostly because I've had to back off and handle real life things. But I check in once in a while. I try to catch a fleet once in a while, and it's always great. And of course, I do talk to the people that are fighting it, including, yes, us. Once in a while, we do we do talk about things, but when it comes down to it, though, there's a whole lot of things going on under the table. And even if I check out Crab Discord, there's you know there's lots happening there. And my nah, not yet, not yet, not yet. In order for that to
Eh,
happen, the entire universe would have to gang up on Pravi.
I know, right? They've been building up since early in the game without anybody invading them in any real serious measure. So think about it. They've been building up this whole time, plotting and scheming about how to conquer the rest of the galaxy. That's why they won't be blue with us. They don't want to be blue with us.
To be honest with
They
you,
don't
I'd be
need
more
us.
I would be more concerned about it if Pravi had been sitting there silently and building up in a region like Declan or Delve or Fountain or I mean the region that they are in isn't exactly a very rich region, right? It's not that you can't build this stuff with determination. Of course, you can build a fucking armada just off of pure determination of as
Think
far
about
as
it.
but but
I,
man,
I mean, I mean, think about it. You know, it, systems can be upgraded, so you can upgrade the base level. Capital rallies don't matter what the level of the system is. So they've got all this space that nobody wanted that they've improved and have just been building up their arsenal to ravage the rest of the galaxy. And so we've got to keep an eye on them.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that no matter who wins the war, whether it is SHH or Crabco, I think that like Pravi is gonna see their opportunities. Like they're all weak. Let's go. They're all weak. Let's
Mhm.
destroy them
Yeah,
all. We're gonna destroy
yeah,
every
and
last one of them.
Proby's revenge. They're coming for us. We've got to
Yeah,
prepare.
roll
We
us,
must
huh?
all unite against the dangers of Proby.
And Pravi's gonna remember when we came in and we killed their orca. They're gonna remember that we came in and we destroyed their carriers. They will remember that we shot their citadels just to farm content from them. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They're definitely coming for us. But
yeah.
and yes, according to what Rambo just said, we just hit 2 months. As far as this war is concerned, war was officially declared, if I'm not mistaken, December the 1st of last year. If I'm not mistaken.
Something like that. So we're like what, 60 days in now?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely 2 months, like Rambo just said, and apparently we didn't know that he is the undisputed king of the WWE gifts. I used to watch a lot when I was little. I'm just not as I don't watch that much anymore. Invite some SHH members to come in and join the show. I know that I did talk to Bradrick, and I sent him like a list of questions. I was hoping that he would join us one of these weeks, and he hasn't gotten around to it yet. So I might poke Tommy. We are we're pretty good as far as just being cool and stuff like that. And as it turns out, guess what? We both um we both happen to be pandemic horde pilots. We found that out when we were just like in conversation one day. Like, oh, we both fly with pandemic horde in Eve Online. So it's kind of interesting how relationships change between one galaxy and another. And of course, pandemic horde is at war right now against Fire and their allies. So right now, if I were to log into Eve Online, I am. If I check my war ticker, I'm probably at war with at least 4 to 5 different entities at the moment, which is pretty boss. You know. And shout out to Semper Fire Dog, who said it was a pleasure flying with you all. I'm gone for good. Fly dangerously. So I know that Semper, for those of you guys that don't know, he has been talking to me and some of his other friends. He's been thinking about quitting the game and stuff, and he just wants to do some other things. The game has gotten a little bit stale for him, and a lot of people are kind of feeling like that, right? I'm semi-retired from the game. And some weeks, I won't lie to you, I come in, and I come in specifically just to do the radio show and stuff like that. So I'm like, Alondria, what's horror? What's been going on? It's like, like whisper it to me in my ear so I know what to say. But I mean, it's like that sometimes. And Semper says he's got a new job, he's got a new life, and he needs less stress. And yeah, Eve can be a little bit stressful. So I wish my friend the best. And Semper, I really hope, seeing as how we are still friends, and we are still with we're still like in other gaming community servers, like Dre's Dragon, or I'm sorry, Drake um server. So hopefully over there we can play some stuff. I know that you're an elite dangerous player, and I also own the game. I haven't had a whole lot of time to sit there and to play it lately, but it could be something, it's a lot of fun, even though Odyssey is still kind of effed up, to be completely honest. I don't know how they haven't fixed that in like 2 years and something. It's just weird. But anyway, kisses to all of you guys, and big thanks to you for hanging out with us on today's show. And of course, as always, if you have something, a different outlook or a different view on what we've talked about here, feel free to let us know what those views are. We're always open for that, whether it's leaving a comment on SoundCloud about how you felt about the episode and what was said, or about the music content, which we are gradually trying to rotate around. And every single week we do something a little bit different with the with the music selection, because I know that I personally, I mean, I think for the longest time we were pretty much just like showcasing like rap, hip hop, and I think rock and hard rock and like symphonic metal. But there are other genres out there that people enjoy as well. So eventually, I suppose that we'll have to get around to jazz, and we'll have to get around to blues, and we'll have to get around to some of these other genres. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about country, because I don't do country that well. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't. Who knows? Guess we find out.
Yeah, I don't know about
I don't know
country.
about country either. It's like someone's.
Although I was thinking about the E version of country where, somebody steals your Ashamu and your Fedo and runs off to New Caldari or something like
Oh my
that. I don't
gosh.
know.
My gosh. All right, I think that we're done. Love, hugs, and kisses, guys, and thanks for tuning into this episode of the show. And Alondria, your contractual
and,
obligation.
and as I am contractually obligated as a hidden CEO of Boop to tell you to boop in local, so please, please, boop in local.
And watch out for the Red Sea crab claws, I should do.
Yes. Use caution when booping in local and fountain. There are many, many crabs running about.
There you go. All right, turn it up, guys.